Hi guys, Fee here. I just wanted to touch base with you about some time management. We have done a training session last week with some of the girls, and this is part of what we went through in the 2-hour training session. So I wanted to shoot a quick video to help you with a bit of time management. So we're going to go through what I call the to-do into the TADA list, and I'm going to walk you through that. So the idea here is to identify your to-do lists, get down to the top 20% on that list, prioritizing, creating your action list, and then ticking them off, which of course is the best part. So this particular document, the to-do to TADA list, is actually saved in the file section on the Team YOLO Down Under page. So jump in there and you'll see the PDF, and you're able to download it, or you can just create your own. So as I say, basically it's a 4-column list and the actions are here. So your first column, we're going to write out what you actually have to do. Column B is what is your top 20% of what needs to be done from that to-do list. Then we bring it down to the sequence. So what order must they be completed in? And this is where we get our prioritizing skills sharpened. And then column D is your actual action plan. So the one we're going to go through today is a typical one that I would find, particularly for our senior directs and above, that would require, but you can literally do this with anything. And even once you've done this particular process, it's kind of like a manual as to what the processes are for some particular items. So it's also duplicatable. So let's get into it. So here's a typical to-do list in Juice Plus business. So we've got customer care to do, we've got to check reports, we've got to call our prospects, whether they're customers or teamies. We've got to attend or arrange our own Zoom events. We've got to attend or arrange live meetings or organise some in-homes for your team or yourself or your customers. We need to go and do some networking or attend some meetup groups. We need to attend to our social media, train new team, check in with existing team. We've got to keep on top of our accounts and our tax, and of course, personal development. So there's lots of things that we need to do, and I know it can be a bit overwhelming. So we're just going to pick up on a couple of these today. So out of all this list, we're only going to pick our top 20%. And given that there's 10 items on this list, that means we're only going to pick 2. So for me at this particular time of the month, it's the 11th of the month at the moment, this is when I really get into my reports and look at where we are with qualifiers and who might need some help or prompting. And, maybe some people don't realise they're so close to qualification or they're about to slip out of qualification. So for me personally, this is when I would do that. So I've actually chosen from column A, all those things, I've actually concentrated on reports and team. So it's my PVC report, my customer genealogy report, my qualifiers report, and then I'm going to talk to my team qualifiers. So taking our top 20% of items that I have to do today. So it will change. All right. So once we've got our sequence, our items, we need to go into the sequence that needs to be followed and what order do they need to be completed in. And we're going to write that into column C. So from column B, which was exactly what we showed before, we're going into what I actually have to do. What are the actual actions? I have to run my reports, I have to check my reports, and I have to call team. So it's actually just breaking down, okay, this is what I need to do. And generally at this time I can go, all right, knowing the size of my reports, I know that this is going to take me a good 2 to 3 hours to get through my reports and look at who I need to talk to. So whether that's via Facebook or an email or a text or a phone call, that process will generally take me a few hours. Now, depending on your size of the business, it might only take you 20 minutes. So it's just a matter of working out, okay, this is what has to be done and this is how long it's going to take me. So once I've identified those steps, I need to micro-step them out. So what is the actual tasks that need to be completed? And as you can see, I've broken that down to exactly what needs to be done. I have to log onto my virtual office. I have to run these reports. I have to highlight last month's qualifiers on the PVC report. I have to identify my potential new qualifiers for this month. So that could be people who are new senior directs last month. It could be people who have fallen out of qualification, whose numbers are starting to look good. Again, they might be re-engaging in the business. I have to check on what the PB was for last month's qualifiers and look at their excess. I look at the customer genealogy report for those team members to look at their potential PVC. I look for any declining customers on my PVC report. And then I will either schedule a Zoom or calls with the team to discuss the reports and the numbers and their potential qualifiers. So if I'm going to be talking to one of my SSCs, I might ring them and say, or text them and say, I need to talk to you about your reports, print off your PVC report and your customer gen report. Let's go through it. And we'll make a time to actually go through their particular report, because that's going to teach them how to do it as well. So then I'll also look at taking the time to call my own customers, particularly if they're declining. And then I will take time also to alert team that they have customers declining, because I love my reports and I love checking them over, making sure that everybody's kind of on task. And I know that people don't love them as much as me, but that's okay. This is really about learning the process. So as you can see, going from right from that beginning, breaking it down to those top two, what do I actually have to do, and breaking it all the way down to step by step what needs to be done. I now actually have a manual of what needs to be done. So I've got a one task sheet of what you need to do when checking reports and talking to team. And that's something that I can pass down line as a training tool. So here's what my list looks like now. Here's my to-do list with all those items on it. Here were the two things that I chose to do, my top 20% out of those 10 items. From here, the sequence that I had to do. And then the micromanaging, the action steps that I actually have to take in order to complete these and tick off check reports and contact team. So that is how to break down what can be a quite scary to-do list. And once you've done this and you've got your to-do list for a particular task, you've got it there. And then you can just pull it out that time of month and go, okay, this is what I need to be doing for the next 3 or 4 hours, or however big your report is. So guys, that's basically it. It's very simple. Just download the to-do to TADA list and micromanage what can seem a bit overwhelming into small, breakable, achievable steps. And then you can tick that off your list and go back to your column A and go, okay, today I'm going to do customer care, and maybe you call your prospects. So it really is about going back to this list, crossing off this that you've already done, and working out what your next top 20% is. So guys, I hope that helps. And again, you can download this particular PDF to do to TADA with these columns from the file section of the Team YOLO down under Facebook page.